The reading. Yes, I'm a little bit late. In fact, I'm almost 2 hours late. Sometimes life gets in the way. So there you are then. Just a quick reminder that we are Creative Life Spiritual Center. We're based in Spring, Texas. We're on Spring Stubner. And every day we have 2 readings on Facebook Live, one in the morning at 9 o'clock by my colleague, Reverend Lisa Ryan. And the second one in the evening, somewhere around about 5 o'clock, but of course, like today, it can get later. Reverend Lisa reads from different material. I read from the Science of Mind Daily Guides every single day. And today's reading is called Not Unlikely at All. Not Unlikely at All. Just score this up here. First quote is from Emma Curtis Hopkins, who was called the teacher of teachers in New Thought. She taught everybody pretty well who was famous in New Thought from the early years, including Ernest Holmes, who was the founder of Science of Mind, of which we are a part. We are a Science of Mind community, a religious science community, part of Centers for Spiritual Living. She said, to love God, to love is to see God in all. To love is to see God in all. And that was from Scientific Christian Mental Practice, and it's on page 155. Scientific Christian Mental Practice, page 155, Emma Curtis Hopkins, pretty well known. Look it up. It's a good book. We've used it in our classes for years, actually. It's actually a great book. And from Ernest Holmes in Richer Living, he says, as we recognize and affirm the omnipresence of spirit, we are causing heaven to appear. That's, as I said, from Richer Living, and it's on page 300, paragraph 1. As we recognize and affirm the omnipresence of spirit, we are causing heaven to appear. A little bit more about that shortly. And our writer this month, Reverend Joanne, says, it happened on the book, quote, Unlikely Heroes, 37 inspiring stories of courage and heart from the animal kingdom, unquote. The author is Jennifer S. Holland, and she wrote stories of various animals that helped other animals and humans. There's a tale about a mama hippo who rescued a drowning wildebeest calf and the zebra foal as their herds crossed a treacherous river during their annual migration. Another recounts the parrot who screeched, Mama, baby, alerting the babysitter who would run to the bathroom that the child was choking. These are feel-good stories. And she says, I read one before bedtime, filling my mind with happy thoughts as I drift off. However, it struck me that the title is a misnomer. Once again, remember the title is Not Unlikely at All. Why would it be unlikely for one being to help another, even if they were different species? Animals void of societal and cultural conditioning do what they innately feel is right. In these stories, animals acted out of love and concern for another being, from a place of oneness. She goes on to say, I've incorporated Holland's, that's a writer's, unlikely, quote unquote, series of books into my spiritual practice because they are illustrative reminders of the truth of the oneness of all. While we're conditioned to view ourselves as separate because of the unique ways we show up in the world, we're not. Every time we help one another, we acknowledge our oneness with all. And that reminds me, my wife loves to watch these cute little videos on Facebook and YouTube and so on of laughing babies, of animals helping each other, of animals helping human beings. Very similar to what this author here, Jennifer S. Holland, is talking about. And some of them are just real tearjerkers. Some of them are extremely funny. And I think it's a great spiritual message. It's a great way to lift your spirits. And anytime that you lift your spirits, in a positive way, of course, and I guess lifting your spirits has to be kind of positive. It's a movement upwards on the spiritual journey because it takes us out of our ego. The message to me, once again, from this reading is getting out of our ego. So whether it's humans helping humans, humans helping animals, animals helping animals, animals helping humans, or animals just getting together and loving each other, then guess what? It's all good. It's all good. It goes back to what Holmes said. He says, as we recognize and affirm the omnipresence of spirit, spirit is everywhere, we're causing heaven to appear. Heaven is when we get out of our egos and we get into our heart space. So when we get into our heart space, we have to be out of our ego. Today's talk was actually kind of along these lines. Reverend Lisa gave it, but the actual title, I think Jesse picked it, or Reverend Jesse picked it in the series, which was centering on humility on the one hand and having self-assurance on the other hand, and how these two balance out. And this, I think, really exemplifies that. So I don't want to go into a lot more today. I think the lesson is pretty clear that when we get out of our egos, good things happen. And also the other messages, and I guess you could say this is homework. Go look up one of these stories on whether it's Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube, or wherever, just on the web. So just Google these things, and I guarantee that once you've seen a couple of these, you cannot help but lift up your spirits. And guess what? Because everything's interconnected, you're lifting other people's spirits up as well. They may not realize it, but at some level of being, once you lift up your spirits, you're lifting up everybody's spirits, whether that much or that much, doesn't really matter. You're lifting up actually the spirits of the whole race mind, which is always kind of cool, I think. So the affirmation, I look upon all life and I consciously acknowledge my oneness with all creation. I look upon all life and I consciously acknowledge my oneness with all creation. I'll probably spend a little bit more time tomorrow. It's pretty much 7 o'clock. I'm usually pretty brief on these readings. I usually give the reading, give a little commentary on it. And then what I've started doing now, of course, is bringing other people on. So I'm going to try and bring more people on as the time goes by, at least one a week, at least one other person a week. So you get other people's opinions besides mine, which is kind of cool. I think so anyway. So with that, I'm going to sign off. Remember, Reverend Lisa will be on tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock-ish. She's a lot more punctual than I am. I will actually be at the dentist at that time. I got a dentist appointment at 8 a.m. in the morning for a teeth cleaning and an examination. So hopefully I will be coming out of the dentist when Reverend Lisa is beginning her reading tomorrow. So if you want to hold anything, just hold that my dental appointment goes kind of cool for me, and that will be good. So until next time, namaste. Take care of yourselves. I mean, take care of yourselves first. It isn't selfish. It's just good spiritual practice. Then, yes, take care of other people. So until next time, namaste.